Well, you buy insurance, you think you're covered until disaster strikes.
On the Consumer Watch, Julie Watts explains not all insurance companies or policies are created equal. Julie?
Yeah, the floods in one Bay Area city earlier this year are the perfect example of how an entire community can be devastated by the same disaster, yet get very different insurance responses.
Oh my God.
For many in Capitola, it still seems like a bad dream.
People were trying to walk against the current.
While the coastal community is no stranger to flooding, this time there was no warning.
It usually comes up from this ocean or up from the river, and we have plenty of time to sandbag. But this came the opposite way.
That's because this was no typical flood. Engineers blame an old pipe which unexpectedly broke during an average-sized storm.
That next day, we just shoveled mud. All you did was shovel mud.
But the following day, a larger storm rolled in, and with no pipe to control the water, it turned Capitola Village into a lake. In its wake, a city filled with mom-and-pop shops already on the brink.
It was very emotional for a lot of people down here.
And they soon realized the flood was just the beginning of their nightmare. Next, FEMA denied disaster relief, then many insurance companies did the same.
The people who had flood insurance were thrilled because finally their flood insurance policy was going to pay off. Until the insurance company said, no, we don't think it was a flood, we think it was a broken pipe. So then they turned to their liability, oh no, we think it's a flood.
Karen Hanna is one of the lucky ones. The craft gallery is back in business thanks to her small private insurer, Golden Eagle, which found the broken pipe to be a covered cause of loss.
You know, most of it is what they're not going to cover.
But Joyce Murphy at the Pacific Gallery had a nearly identical policy to Karen's, and she received this denial template from the Hartford, blaming the flood on winter storms. How is it possible that two insurers can come up with two completely separate findings for the same disaster?
Well, they would tell you we have different policy language.
But insurance advocate Amy Bach reviewed both policies for us with lawyer Jerry Mannion. And the primary difference they find is the efficient proximate cause, or what the insurer says caused the loss.
It's all because of this pipe, and that is a covered cause of loss. That's what Golden Eagle found, but Hartford decided to look for a way to deny the claim.
So we asked the Hartford to reconsider its denial, providing it with further evidence the flood was due to the broken pipe. Its response? On further consideration of the unique circumstances of the Capitola flood, we have decided to cover the Pacific Gallery's claim. We denied because the damage was caused by a flood. However, we recognize the pipe failure contributed. And while Joyce is thrilled the policy she's paid into will finally pay off,
I don't know if you can trust an insurance company, quite frankly, and yet you can't be without it.
which is why a good agent is critical. Both women in our story had agents who vetted their policies and went to bat for them. Head to cbssf.com/consumerwatch for tips on how to find a good agent. And to its credit, the Hartford reversed its denial after receiving our research. But one of the disaster's largest insurers refused to even consider it. More on them tomorrow, along with the policy clause that you need to look out for.
Boy, you got to fight all the way, don't you?
You sure do, and we've been spending months fighting this one.
I believe it. All right, Julie, thanks.